Hello, I'm literally at the front of my house talking out the window because that's where the best light is. So people walk past, look at me like I'm a freak. That's totally fine. So I'm here to share my top 3 tips for meal planning. I have my handy dandy notes on a post-it note. I don't script these. I literally wing it. I speak from the heart. And I feel like because I do this day in, day out and help people do it, I don't need to have anything scripted and reading off anything. So let's just talk about meal planning. It is sometimes a word that people are like, ugh, I don't do it. It's almost as though they have like an allergic reaction to it. I don't know why. Maybe because it's been used so often, so many people do it. Maybe they've given it a go and it hasn't worked out, and that's okay. Maybe it's just the way that you did it. You just got to find your groove. Same thing as, working out. Sometimes you just got to try a few different ways or things, and yeah, might be your thing. So how I do it is similar to how my subscription works, and that's why I designed my subscription the way that I did. It's because that's how I cook, that's how I meal plan week to week. So I wanted to do something and present it to you, and these tips are definitely things that you will see inside it, and if you don't sign up, that is totally fine. These are things that you can implement in your own life and your way to do it yourself. So my first thing is I do week to week. I don't do month, I don't do fortnight. That's just how I do it. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just my method. So, shock horror. Tip number 1 is plan your meals. I know. So, nothing genius, but so often we don't sit down. And I know, well, firstly, we don't sit down. But secondly, we don't actually take the time to just actually think about what we're going to cook for the next week. If you do that, just that simple one task by sitting down and just writing down what the dinners are going to be for the following week, the headache's gone. You don't have to worry about what you're going to cook day in, day out. You're not going to have to worry about dropping the kids off at school, going to Woolies or Coles, going through aisles, thinking, what am I going to cook? What am I going to cook? Going home, unpacking, tackling that, doing the housework, then sitting down to do work if you've got a small business or if you work from home. I mean, no. So plan your meals, which then leads me into tip number 2. So tip number 2 is keep them easy. Keep them easy. So many times people are just like, I'm going to meal plan and that gives me inspiration. I'm going to go through all my cookbooks. I'm going to whip out Jamie Oliver's ragu. Don't do that first. If it's easy enough, sure. And if you're a confident cook, that's not a problem. But often I always say to people, I'm like, you know what? Just keep it easy. Pick dishes that you know how to do, that you don't need to follow a recipe, that you can do at the back of your hand. And I guarantee you, they will make your life so much easier. You're already changing your habits by meal planning. You don't want to overwhelm yourself anymore because that's where things kind of go wrong, or not go wrong, but put you off. And then you break the habit and then you're like, you know what, meal planning is not for me. So keep it easy. That's tip number 2. Then tip number 3 is something that I teach, and it's something that I am so passionate about, in case you haven't realized. And it's something that I'm doing with my clients. It is building the freezer stash, so doubling your batch. If you are making a spaghetti bolognese, double it. Just double it. You're already making it. You're already going to the effort of chopping. What's an extra, bit of mince? What's a bit of extra carrot, onion? It's not going to really chew up so much time. But double it up, take out half the sauce, let it cool down and freeze it. That way, the following week when you have another, hectic day, it's that day that it's like, right, I've got to pick up the kids, I've got work to do, pick up the kids, I've got to go to tennis, I have to go swimming, I've got to come back, I've got to put a load of washing, pack lunches, blah, 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 blah. You already have some spaghetti sauce in the freezer, ready to go. All you have to do is defrost it. You could turn it into a lasagna or just mix through some pasta, and that's it. Serve it up with some salad. So many people don't think to do that. That's just something that I am so mindful with dishes that I can do that with. Some dishes, it's not so great frozen. You would know that. You know what you like. Some people don't like defrosted meals. I don't think there's anything wrong with it when they're home cooked. I think they're fantastic, and it beats takeaway, and it beats a lot of other options that you may resort to on those days. So if you do not have time to sit down or whatever, definitely my subscription does that all for you. It takes the thinking away. All you have to do is download, print, add your own household items like loo paper, and you're done. I'm taking the thinking out of it for you. Otherwise, tip number 1, plan your dinners. Just seriously, 15 minutes, just whack it, whatever the meals come out of your mind firsthand, write them down. Tip number 2, keep them easy. Keep them simple. Things that you already know how to make at the back of your hand. You don't need to follow a recipe book or, minimal effort, things that, maybe the kids like that, or things that are always on repeat, but it's more about having things at hand ready to go on those days. And tip number 3 is doubling batches where you can, okay? Building that freezer stash for them shit days, because we all have them. We all have them, and that's what the freezer is there to help you with. So hopefully that provides you with some value, some insight on meal planning. Otherwise, I will catch you soon.